So you've got your planning team or planning circle together. You've assessed the risks and hazards in your community to get a better understanding of what mitigation measures are in place and where you need to spend your time. Now we're going to get down into the nitty-gritty of making sure that the circle and all planning members involved move along at the same time to meet the outcomes that your chief and council or leadership expect. So here we're going to get into step 3 of the emergency management planning process, where we determine priorities, set goals, and determine objectives. You've already determined some priorities through your risk assessment because now you know which hazards you need to focus on. Setting goals are, general statements. You may have heard of SMART goals, SMART being an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. I think there's some other definitions of SMART out there, but generally you want to create some simple statements that regard what you want to accomplish with your response crews, your personnel, and your equipment. So, for example, a wildfire that comes into a community and you have to evacuate. What would a successful evacuation look like? What would a successful response look like? Even a flood that hits the community and floods 10 houses. What would a recovery look like in that case in terms of what you want to get done and by when? You've got to set up some of those goals so everyone knows what they're planning to, because you're also going to want to set objectives through this process. And we use objectives because, for me, I really think objectives are empowerment, because a good manager or leader should just tell you what needs to be done, not how to do it. So, for example, one I like to use when we were dealing with flooding in High River, a good incident commander or emergency manager will say, pump out the water or get the water out of the ditch, by tomorrow at noon. That's your objective. How you want to get that water out of the ditch with the resources, personnel, and equipment you have is up to you. So, the incident commander is not saying, hey, go get this pump from this person at this staging area, take it over there, lay 10 yards of hose, get things going, they're not telling you that. All they're telling you is we want this pumped out fully, or, if they want to be really specific, we want 50% of that ditch pumped out by noon tomorrow. That's the objective. That leaves the team in a position to just make decisions and just get the job done. So when you're planning, you want to do that as well. So for example, with an evacuation, an incident commander might say, evacuate the entire community by 4:00 this afternoon without any injuries, deaths, and with nobody left behind. That's the objective. So now you can look at the actions, the activities, the tasks, the equipment, the people that are required to get that job done. You can go and plan with your team. And that's really all goals and objectives are when it comes to, planning for these kind of scenarios. Make them smart, make them simple, lead by objectives. See you in the next video. Thanks for joining us at Hazardscape. You can subscribe to our YouTube and find our ad-free training videos by becoming a supporter on Patreon with a network of other Indigenous peoples looking to make their communities safer. And remember, know your hazardscape and be prepared.